And I can't type any messages into the chat. I couldn't even give out the 2-minute warning. Anyway, it's Monday. Mondays always suck. But we're going to jump into some news. Welcome back. And here we go. We're going to jump into all the weather maps and all that stuff. First, we're going to show some viewer pictures. Just got a few of them here to show you. This is coming out of Nebraska, right at the border of Nebraska and South Dakota. Got a few pictures of this. Thanks, Twyla, for sending these in. Pretty freaky clouds, and when I show you on the worldview map, you'll see why these are forming. These are not, normal clouds whatsoever. So yeah, look how they are like waves, like gravity waves, but not gravity waves, microwaves. Then we got this picture coming out of Maui. Thanks, Bob, for sending that super thick aerosol deployment there. I mean, look at that thing. That is one thick chemtrail. It's like a snake serpent in the sky. That's a big ass picture. So yeah, that's a low flying when you see the microwave clouds in the background. Man, that's a monster. Then we got this coming out of Oklahoma. Keith sent this in from Tulsa. We zoom in on this one. I think I had a few more. That's all I gave. That's all I got loaded on them. So yeah, man, spraying operations everywhere. All right, let me get into some of this other stuff. Good pictures there sent in. That's a crazy rainbow-looking cloud. And we'll jump right over here and take a look at it on the maps. And when you look at this, you can see why it was all freaky. These are all aerosols being deployed. Look down. Look at these super long lines here. We can change the layers. That pictures probably took about right in there. They started out as a clear sky, and then they started dumping the aerosols, and look what it turns into. It turns into a weather system. For the people that deny the aircraft is doing this or call it water vapor. Water vapor is an issue then. We have a water vapor issue in the skies all over the planet, and it's causing all kinds of havoc. So let's let me go ahead and get out of these. Man, I can't even believe the thickness of that trail. That's like a smoke curtain. So here we go. Weather events will be catastrophic. The UN reported outlines the climate crisis. They're using all these kids as bait, mind control. All this is a George Soros and the tool to try to bring in the NWO. If you don't know what the NWO, the New World Order. So I'm not even going to read that. You got mad science ScopeX extinction scheme to block the sun by polluting the entire planet, detailed in Oblivion Agenda lecture video now posted. Funded by Bill Gates to pollute the entire planet and block the sun. To reduce the so-called global warming, a junk science hoax fabricated by Al Gore and the like. And he's the same one that says eating meat will make the climate worse. You know what? It's all BS, man. We were supposed to not even have snow anymore, but yet we do. Then out here in where was it, Cincinnati, you've got cell phone towers going up everywhere, but they're not cell phone towers. They're 5G towers. The homeowners worry about the possibility of health effects. Now, this happened in my old neighborhood in Independence. And we did some radio shows. We hung signs off the highway We went to the town hall meetings and we got them took down, but all they did was move them a few miles away. You can fight these things. You know, even the fire departments, I can't remember, I think it was in California or somewhere, they were having, you know, mass headaches, even all the way up to hallucinating just from the cell phone towers. And now they're pasting these things up while other countries are outlawing the 5G. You know, there's been no clinical, you know, operations done to show how bad this stuff is for you. It's microwave radiation, all the Wi-Fi. Well, here's something we could use to take down drones. New gun can jam signals, take down drones for more than a mile away. Counter drone tech. I don't know if you can get these, you know, residentially, but increasing availability of drones and their customability make them a useful tool within many industries. Unfortunately, they're being used for criminal purposes. You know, like the alphabet gangs and all the stuff going on overseas. But anyway, this is a countermeasure. Just like the, you know, the Wi-Fi blocking underwear. You know, if you're a parent and you want to protect your kids, then you should buy them some Wi-Fi blocking underwear. You know, they put all these, they put all the, you know, these tablets and Surface Pros. They have that Wi-Fi right in the area that can, you know, make you go where you can't have kids. Sterilization. That's part of the program. So to go along with the climate, you know, climate change hoax, you know, this Washington Post had posted this article back in, they actually posted it today. But what they're saying, yeah, 9/23. Oh no, this is from 2013. But the, I don't know if you guys can't see the very top bar, but they named the article Antarctic sea ice hits 35-year record high Saturday. But then when you click the link, the name of the article says Antarctic sea ice levels have shrunk to low records for late June. So apparently 2017 was the lowest levels ever. But we're going to look at the actual levels, which we don't even know if they're the actual levels because these numbers were fudged. The other problem is they're only going back to 1979. Now we're looking at this here. I can zoom in on this a little bit. There, now we can see it a little better. Yeah, we got all kinds of Amish people that lives in our neighborhood, man. Everywhere is horse and buggies and pretty crazy. All right, so right here is where we are in the blue line. We're the blue line. So it looks like 2012 was a record minimum ice, you know, in the last 79, you know, since 1979. See, they won't give you the full graph. They don't want you to know this is actually normal. You can see we're running pretty damn normal now. We're going to start going back on an upward trend. And we can even check Antarctic ice. We go to the Antarctic ice. It looks perfectly normal. We're above the record 2017 minimum. And we're doing the exact same dip as it did in, you know, last October in 2017, a couple of years ago. Now you could add on some of these other ones just by clicking them. And look, we're running average. You know, it's the 11-year sun cycles. And then you factor in all the weather modifications. See, they're heating the poles up. They're forcing the climate change by dumping all the aerosols and the bunker fuels. It's all a lie. You want to stop global warming? Stop the planes. Stop the ships. Hey, thanks out there, who did that. See, none of my stuff is working. I can see somebody did a super chat there. Much love. Thanks, Sumi. Hey, thanks for helping us out there. We're working on getting some different internet. Thanks to somebody sent me some email, and I'm going to try this other kind of satellite, if it'll work. It's not a satellite. I'm not even sure what it is, but some kind of microwave dish that hopefully I can install a long way from the house, pointed the other direction, but we'll see. Yeah, we're all in the green. It should be buffering. It's looking pretty good. So we've had more thousands of hogs killed in Pennsylvania in a barn fire. Like, I don't even know how many reports I've done on, hundreds of thousands of chickens, pigs, you name it. They're all being killed, man. They're just it's a bad deal for animals right now. 4,000 hogs were killed. So just more to add to the list. I think I went over this the other day, but the surveillance applications of high frequency gravitational waves. And when I get down in here a little bit, the high frequency gravitational waves pass through most material with little or no attenuation, but although they are not absorbed, their polarization phase velocity causing refraction or bending. Now you can modify the material object's texture and internal structure, for example, the change in polarization passing through a material object is discussed. Specifically, if the wave is a pulse, then the backscatter will cause its shape and polarization to keep changing. Such an assertion will need to be verified both theoretically, experimentally, blah, blah, blah. But this brings me, people send me this. Now, I covered this a couple years ago. I showed a couple years ago what's inside the NextRad station. So, some people are just a-holes in the emails, and if I don't reply to them, or if I don't show what they want me to show, then they become an asshole. You know who you are. So I'm going to show it again, because we've showed this before. This is inside one of the buildings of a NextRad station, and they have these radars. These things are the power source, the klystrons, and they're putting off microwaves, just like we always say, the high frequencies. I'm not going to really play this video, but I'll put the link. I got the links. In fact, let me paste the links in right now before I forget, because I've been forgetting to put the links in the stuffs here. So let me copy that. Let me paste it into the show links. Show links, where are they? Where are they? Here they are. So let me enter, paste. So if you want to watch this video on the NextRads, and hopefully the guy that sent this to me will stop being an asshole since I showed it. So there you go. We showed it again. We showed it back in 2014, 2015, and here it is again. And if you take a look, if you go in to look at these motors, you can read all about them, see what they do, and so the klystrons are high-powered microwave vacuum tubes, velocity modulated tubes that are used in radars as amplifiers and oscillators. They use a kinetic energy of an electronic beam for amplification of high-frequency signals. Klystrons make use of transit time effect by varying velocity of the electron beam. It's a linear device. The electron flow is a straight line focused by axial magnetic field. The magnetic field is only used to focalize the electron beam. Has one or more special cavities around the axis of the tube that modulate the electric field due to the number of resonant cavities. The gain of the amplifiers can vary from more than 60 dBs with output power up to tens of megawatts. And you can read on in here, the two cavity Kailash, I can't talk tonight, is a widely used microwave amplifier operated by the principle of velocity and density modulation. An electronic oscillator can also be made from this tube. So this thing is just basically letting you know that it's putting off radiation. It's putting off the high frequency, just like we always talk about. And just like my thumbnail in the very beginning of the video that shows the parabolic dish, the NexRad golf ball, shooting out single pulse, and then the wider pulses. So different beams, different pulses, different effects. So anyway, this link's in there if you want to read into these klystrons. You know, here's and this makes pretty much sense. If carbon dioxide is so bad for the planet, why do the greenhouse growers buy CO2 generators to double the plant growth? CO2 improve plant quality and increase production. You know, they want you to think that the CO2 is bad for you, even though it's great for growing plants. But you know, that's why they want to like outlaw it. All right, so here we go. I think we already covered this, the impact of the absorbing aerosols on clouds and precipitation. A recent review of the processes, the progresses. So I can't talk tonight. Anthropogenic absorbing aerosols could interact with dynamics to change clouds and precipitation locally or remotely. An active research field is forming to understand. Look, they already know how to do all this. It's what they're doing now. And then we're expected to think this stuff is, you know, we're making this shit up. It's going on every day. Let's go ahead and jump into the worldview. And welcome in, everybody. And I got the chat running there in the live feed so that I can go back and review it, because I keep getting all kinds of complaints of people getting blocked for apparently no reason. Blah blah blah. Well, we'll monitor it here for a few days and see what's going on, and get to the bottom of that. Anyway, let's jump into the map here. Let me get it so we can get the full view. There we go. So it looks like they are still dumping aerosols all over Alaska. Alaska's getting hit. And of course, this is who got hit yesterday, and now they're getting the moisture, the clouds, still being sprayed like bugs all over, you know, BC, Edmonton, Washington, Oregon. And it's going to be fire season. Look, see, they've kept California so dry. Now it's fire season. They're going to start popping the fires off. I'm not seeing no fires right now, but they have the red flag warnings going, so they're preparing for the fire. So heads up if you were in California, because it's time. So all right, so anyway, here we go. Let's jump on down here in the Bajas of California. We got, which hurricane is this? That is, oh wow, they don't even have it on here no more. They took it off. Why'd they take it off? Anyway, we had this, I can't even remember the name of this hurricane, but it's, I guess it's still a hurricane or a tropical storm. It's got to be something. It looks like one. Anyway, apparently they took the name. It's just going to do nothing, I guess. But look, Arizona is getting bombarded. Looks like they could be getting some rain. In the spring operation went all the way through Arizona, New Mexico, all over Colorado's getting waxed. They've been getting waxed all night and day. Same area that we've seen the freaky clouds. So this spraying operation is huge. It went all the way from the Bajas all the way up into Nebraska, and also spraying operation North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana. Minnesota's looking pretty clear. Wisconsin. Over here, Michigan, you're getting some backside spraying. Southern Missouri is getting hit. We're getting hit with the weird segmented spray. They've been doing it all day. It's not really showing up here because I'm probably around in here. And they were doing it all day, all morning. It'll probably show up on the Ghost 16. But yeah, they were the segmented sprays. It looks like they had a few long liners. But like they were these short ones. That's what they were doing. And I would be on which lake here? I'd be on this lake somewhere. So they were coming over here, and now they're drifted down to the south. Looks like we may have a weird operation there in Mississippi. So what's all brewing over here in the Atlantic? I just kind of look up here. Still got aerosols out here. Look, they're set. All the weather yesterday is now exactly where we said it would be, right where all the heavy duty aerosols were. It's all over Ireland, UK, France. Still getting sprayed. Going into the Netherlands, Germany. So everybody got hammered from all these leftover storms. Now we got a new one brewing down here, but it's going to be mixing in with the dust. We'll have to look at the dust. We have an aerosol campaign right in the North Atlantic. Let's take a look at this storm here. Wow, that thing looks weird. It looks like it's got like a secondary eye. Wow, that's pretty weird. It almost has two eyes, like a double eye. Man, if you flip that around, that'd look like a skull with the two eye sockets and nose. I'm just trying to see if we can get different layers. Looks like they hit it with some frequencies to the opposite side of the winds. That's kind of a strange deal there. Ooh, what's in color? Something weird. So we got that one system that's supposed to form down here in the Cayman Islands. We'll look at that and see if anything's changed on that. So let me just kind of look out here. Wow, this map's not loaded real good. Yeah, welcome in people from if you're new here, much love out there. We just try to expose all the weather modification, all the weather warfare. We try to provide facts for everything we talk about, because it's all going on. We show the companies that are doing it. Show the cloud seeding companies. And if you are here, new here, we just, I just uploaded a video not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, that was the Texas weather modification and the USDA. That's who's responsible for the Texas weather modification. You got the Northwestern weather modification. You got the Idaho Power Company, PG&E. They're all in on the weather modification operations. So, I'm not seeing any spraying out ahead of this, except for up here. So that must be where they want it to go. They want to bring it up north, send it on over there to the UK. And we need to just kind of go look. Wow, that looks like a little cyclone right there in the Arabian Sea. That could be a man-made one right there. You got the UAE. You got the global trading company over here. Here, let's type that in. Let me show you somebody who can make hurricanes. I was going to go directly to their site, but I think it's going to take me to the Climate Viewer site. And if you want to start blabbing the flat earth crap, there's rules there in the chat. This isn't the flat earth channel. Go somewhere else if you don't. You know, everybody's welcome here, but we're not going to be talking flat earth. Don't spew the crap in the chat. We're trying to wake people up to the weather modification problems, not the shape of the earth. It doesn't freaking matter. So here we go. Here's a company of the United Arab Emirates. Now, they can do seawater desalination technology, $50 a cubic meter. They can do cloud seeding technology. And look what they say: chemical elements harmful to the environment and human health. They'll do it for $10 a square cubic meter. And then here's the climate, $1 or US 55 cents per 1 cubic meter of fresh water of natural origin. Now these guys use electromagnetic technology to steer the atmospheric rivers, and what they do, they want you to pay it by the climate cron. You got to pay for this stuff by cryptocurrency. So if you want natural water, what they're doing is they're hijacking the rivers of the sky, and then they want to bottle it and sell it to you. They want to poison all the other water aquifers and all that stuff. And if you go in here and really dig into here, they show you all the stuff that they do. Demonstration works in the UAE 2019, Pakistan 2018. They created a cyclone. I don't know if it's this one. Let's see if it's this one. I mean, they're proud of this stuff. They did a operation this year around June 20th over Iran, and they flooded 90% of Iran out. Yeah, this isn't the one. Maybe it's the Pakistan one. I mean, you can get in here. They show, I mean, the clouds are all freaky looking purple. Like it was man-made. The whole damn thing was man-made. Yeah, I don't even know if I want to wait on this thing. You know, there's another company out there, while that's loading, the weather generators. And these people post what they're doing right online. They got a YouTube channel. Here's the weather generator. This company has been using, you know, antenna operation since 1995 in the Middle East, the weather generator project. And they say we don't create clouds, we enhance them. You know, they can destroy sandstorms and fog, cleaning air pollution, enhancing the rain. But you can check out their YouTube channel. Yeah, the weather generator has been switched off on 12/9/2019. You know, they did this is the company I just showed you. This company, the global. I'm not even gonna wait on that thing to load, but that company took over this facility and did a test. Like I said, back in June. Magnetic fuel. So I mean, these guys are madmen, man. They're steering the atmospheric rivers. All the information's out there. It's going on. Tons of them in America. Here, let's do a quick little clip of the U.S. Department of Agriculture this year, talking about the cloud seeding programs last year in Texas. So what's this?
We've had a lot of cases where we were seeding storms that had no business being seeded. We were just kind of throwing darts, and we were seeing responses to some of those. So we are learning that maybe there's more opportunity with some of these. Maybe we don't even need to have a rain cloud. We could go work cumulocongested clouds that aren't really precipitating yet. And if it has inflow, maybe we could get something to work. Year one, we had the air tractor that the USDA provided, so dosaging was a lot better. We were getting about 40 to 45 gallons per cloud. That aircraft wasn't available in year two, so we took one of our Comanches and converted it.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I'm George Bomar, Weather Modification Program Specialist in the Office of Innovation and Project Management. Since our last meeting in November, we have had completed the radar-derived assessment of cloud seeding operations done in Texas during 2018. That study is done on an annual basis by Dr. Ruiz out of Texas Tech University. That report just arrived, so it's not loaded on your desktop computer, but I did make a paper copy for you, and I'd like to just point out a number of features of that annual evaluation report. 5 of the cloud seeding projects that are conducted for rain enhancement purposes, 4 of those are included in this assessment. The projects based in White Deer, San Angelo, Pecos, and Pleasanton. In 2018, there were a total of 262 clouds seeded. On 87 distinct days, we had at least one aircraft in the air seeding in order to enhance the output from young thunderstorms. And I'm going to just refer to a few really significant numbers that are in this report and compare them with the long-term average. Dr. Ruiz has been doing this assessment for a number of years, and as you know, his evaluation is based upon looking at systems, cloud cells, that are seeded and comparing them with the behavior of adjacent convective cells that are not seeded. So it's a target versus control area comparison. And when you do this over a number of years, you pretty much establish what's normal, and you can then identify what appears to be abnormal. Last year, the season didn't last as long as the typical season of 160 days. The start was later than usual, May 2nd, and the last day of operations was in September on the 19th. As we know from year to year, Mother Nature throws us a different hand, and there just wasn't any seedable convection early in the storm season of 2018. Over half of all of the storms that were seeded were single cell convective storms, 140 to be exact. And I like to look at the numbers of the single cell storms seeded because using Titan, I believe the numbers that Dr. Ruiz provides are most reliable when you're dealing with complexes or
So you just mentioned contrails. So how do the contrails affect or have an impact on the climate?
Right. Well, contrails have a huge impact on climate. And so, in fact, some of the recent modeling work that has come out of DLR suggests that contrails today, just the ones that we're able to see up in the sky, maybe today, this week, this month, have a larger impact on Earth's climate than all of the carbon dioxide emitted by aircraft since the first powered airplane flight. So that's a huge effect. And so even as CO2 accumulates, greenhouse gases accumulate in the atmosphere, the impact of these contrails trapping heat and reflecting sunlight back into space is having a huge effect on the Earth's energy balance. And so
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. They're dumping more particles this week than all of the aviation since the very first plane. That's why. All right, so that's why we're all sick. You want to stop climate change? Stop the planes right there. I just showed you the Department of Agriculture talking about all the clouds they seeded in 2018. When you listen to the whole 2-hour video, they even talked about seeding storms that were already thunderstorm warned. They talked about the rain amounts were 35 to 45% more. So that means if you were supposed to get 6 inches of rain, you got 12, close to 12. That's why everything was a rain bomb. And then we just showed you how NASA is doing different mixes in the jet fuel. So you have the actual seeding operations, then you have the actual, commercial aircraft, the military aircraft, dumping all kinds of mixtures up in the sky, creating all these clouds. We're looking at the cirrus cloud layer right now. And, where all the big time spraying operations are, we can zoom in on this stuff and see them deploying it. It's targeted. It's for a reason. We can see heavy air right there. Let's zoom in on the ones there in Missouri. And then we'll be able to get a better look going right through Tennessee, Kentucky. So you're not only actual cloud seeding operations, the JP7, the JP8, all the jet fuel mixes that they're brewing up is killing the plants, it's killing the bugs, it's killing the trees. Then you have the ground base stuff, like here. Let me show you this one out of Idaho. So the Idaho Power Company is shooting silver iodide rockets up into the air to make it rain, to make it snow. It's going on everywhere, man. All this, Greta, this evil little Soros girl that they plotted out here, is just another one of the little puppets. And it's too bad that they have to use the kids to pull this agenda off. So right here, they have mobile units that they go around, and the Idaho Power Company is harvesting the storm. They're injecting silver iodide from the ground-based towers and flares modified. I mean, all you gotta do is a Google search and you're gonna find all this stuff that we talk about is real, and it's all being done. So for all the naysayers, that's why I can't believe that the Grand Solar Minimum crowd don't talk about this, because this is part of it, man. You have the Grand Solar Minimum and you have this stuff going on. I mean, it goes hand in hand. They're using it to their advantage, and it's too bad that they don't factor this in to the crop losses and to the temperatures that are going to be cooling. We can see all this aerosols here. These are all man-made clouds. You got a ground-based water generator down here. So this is just flat out seeding the sky. If all these aircraft weren't in the air, if all the bunker fuel operations weren't out at sea, deploying the super heavy sulfur, nasty stuff, the most toxic emissions on the planet, our skies would be clear and blue. We'd have the puffy clouds. The heat from the day would be able to escape at night, but no, they're creating a blanket to cover the earth. I mean, this goes so deep when you look at the New World Order agenda. It's all part of that. It's a eugenics program. It's all multifaceted for your demise. That's all it's for, and it needs to be stopped. So people need to get more people awake to this stuff, because it's not going to stop unless you have a bunch of people to make it stop. If you give up your guns, if you give up your rights for this surveillance and all this stuff, man, it's just going to doom us all. That's why it's so important to try to wake up your neighbors, wake up people at the grocery store. If they're chemtrailing the shit out of the sky, when you're walking out to your car, man, talk to somebody, say, man, look at that up there. Try to get them thinking about it. Say, hey, maybe you need to watch some above ground world news. Tell them, check out the sky, see through the lies. Yeah, I don't know about that stuff there. The EMP, I don't trust that channel at all. So I don't know. I haven't really looked into that stuff too much. So, one day I'll go look into that. But I did watch a couple of videos from that channel a couple times, and it was all mainly disinformation. So Yeah, it's not really no cuss words out there in the chat, St. James. It's mainly the F bomb. We try not to use the F bomb. Anyway, that's what we're going to do. Anyway, we're going to call this a show, guys. Much love. We'll see you tomorrow night, God willing. Wake some people up every day. Try to wake up one person, 2 people, 3 people, 4. Then we could do some damage. Anyway, guys, much love. We're going to jump into the exit screen. I'll come join you in chat for a few minutes. I'll jump over on the D Live. I'll give away the treasure chest. And we'll go from there. Anyway, turn it up, rock it up. Here we go.